Hello, my name is Yasmin Euphemia, aka Sugar, and I'm here today with.
I'm Beverly, aka UK Fluffy Chick, and we are the founders of Support Sis-Star Network. And we have a guest here with us, Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hello. Hi,
Hello,
Beverly.
Gary.
Hi, Yasmin. How you doing?
Okay,
We're
Gary.
good, thank you.
Mhm.
Tell us about yourself and also tell us where you're at.
Well, I'll start with about myself. I'm from Tottenham in England, and I was there for most of my life. Did school, college, first long-term career move and everything. And then I took my family all the way over to Canada. We were there for 10 years, which was quite an experience. I really enjoyed it myself. It's very, as much as it's very similar to England because it's part of the West, it's very different. The best way I can describe it, it's like being halfway in between England and America in terms of the cultures, right? And then with all COVID was happening and everything, and after my wife having followed me basically to Canada, and she wanted to try Africa, so we considered Ghana. But Ghana's prices got really hefty, and we also have a friend who's from Gambia who said you should try Gambia. So we were, all right, let's give it a go. So 18 months later, I'm still in Gambia.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That's
I'm
amazing.
like, I live 10 minutes from the beach, if that, which is fantastic.
Yeah, Sugar just saying you're very brave to make that move.
Well, to be honest, it's no harder than moving to Canada. It's funny because when we moved to Canada, they don't really take your English work experience into account so easily. So it took me about 8 years to kind of like start cruising.
Wow.
Over there, yeah.
And funny, when I left the UK after first year of school, that's where I went, Canada.
Oh yeah.
I was in Toronto. I was there for 6 months. And then, yeah, that didn't work out. So then I got shipped off to Jamaica. Oh, yeah.
Well, Canada actually has the largest contingent of Jamaicans outside of Jamaica, which did surprise me. I thought it would have been more like England or America, but no, Canada has the largest contingent apparently. So
where in Canada were you?
Well, I started off in Brampton.
Oh, I know Brampton.
Yeah. And then we decided to move out to Cambridge.
Okay.
So I was in Cambridge for 9 years. So it was a nice experience. It has a community feel. Everything is a little bit cheaper. Well, no, significantly cheaper than staying in Brampton. Right. An example being my car insurance was literally half in Cambridge compared to Brampton. So
Brampton is like the equivalent to an Enfield here, isn't it?
Nowadays, yeah, because Enfield's changed. But Brampton can be maybe compared to how Tottenham used to be in terms of the culture and the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has a little bit of a reputation.
So Gary,
but we can handle it.
What are you doing in Canada?
In Gambia.
In Gambia.
Sorry.
Now
what are you actually doing? Are you back and relaxing?
I wish. But well, to be honest, no, I don't wish. I really love doing what I do. I have been a youth worker. Then I went over to Canada and I became a intensive family support worker, which basically you work with families and put together strategies that are going to help them to overcome some of the challenges they're experiencing, whether it be mental health challenges, whether it be communication challenges, there could be just behavioral stuff that's going on. And to be honest, when COVID hit, a lot of people were experiencing some challenging situations
Yep.
because everyone's at home together.
Mm-hmm.
So under
Yeah,
those
so they're having
circumstances,
up to who they're living with.
yeah,
Are
I
you
mean,
talking about from the domestic point
it's
of view?
sorry, say again.
Are you talking about from a domestic point of view?
Yeah, I mean, just people living with each other is one thing when you spend a little part of your day together. So the kids go off to school, you go out to work, and so on and so on. But when you're in an environment where you're there together all the time because of the restrictions, when you're when the kids have got all this energy and they can't go out and play with their friends and so on and so on, that's a huge challenge now because you, as parents, you're at home working from home, but your kids want to be entertained. So how do you balance the two? So what people were finding out was the kids were getting on their nerves. They were getting on their kids' nerves. Spouses were having a hard time together.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
they actually get to know the person that they're with, rather than you're just
Yeah.
passing through. It's like now I'm with. It's like everybody was kind of. I didn't mean to cut you, but it's just coming like this. The COVID situation was everybody living in a big brother house situation. You
Yeah.
can't escape the people you're with, and it
Right.
can get very claustrophobic and mentally very challenging.
Right.
That's where
Absolutely.
you came in with
Draining is the
what you
word you're
do.
looking for. Mentally draining.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Very draining.
I think one of the things that people don't realize and they actually take for granted is the journey to and from work. How when you're going to work, usually you have a chance to wind up to work. And when you finished work, you have a chance to wind down before you engage with your family and friends and so on. So that actually makes a huge difference that when you take that away, there is no wind up and wind down time. So in terms of the clarity of whether you're at work or whether you're at home, it's disappeared. People find that they're working at odd hours. Now, at the beginning, it might seem okay, but now, after you've been doing it for a year or so, and the lines are completely blurred. So normally you would work from say 9 to 5. Now you're working, oh, you know what, I don't feel like working at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to start at 11. But then that means that you finish 2 hours later, at which point your kids are used to engaging with you, but you can't do that no more. Or your kids will be getting up later because there is no specific reason for them to get up early, which means they stay up later. So where's your adult interaction time?
So what is it that you do now with these families? What do you? I mean, is that what you're doing in the Gambia now? Is that what you do?
Now in the Gambia now, I'm building a coaching business that I have. So instead of me doing these things working for someone else, I actually provide programs for myself, for clients. So, but I also work with clients and tailor make the programs that I engage them with. So, I'm doing it online. But if anyone is in the Gambia and wants that kind of support, yeah, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do it face to face here because we're not worried about COVID here. We don't do social distancing. We don't do the mask and stuff like that. And the COVID numbers are real low. So I don't, and the sunshine with COVID, I'm sure I had COVID at the beginning of the year. In fact, I was told I had COVID at the beginning of the year. And it didn't knock me as bad as having the flu when I'm in the West. So.
Yeah, it seems to have affected different people in different ways. But I actually personally think it's a little bit, I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, a bit like when someone says they have cancer, it's your mental attitude towards it that decides whether it knocks you down or whether you fight against it. I don't know if you know what I mean. I might be making it sound too simple.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I've heard people say that as well. And, I'm not in a position to disagree. So for me, I know I believed and I felt the sunshine that we have here. It helped me a lot. Whether it was a case of that just affected my mentality, or whether it was a case of it lit the vitamin D from the sunshine, I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not bothered as long as I'm still here.
Yeah. I think it is kind of the mentality, because like for me, when in the winter time, I know for me, like you have people that they said they suffer from what I think it's seasonal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seasonal
Yeah.
adjustment disorder.
Me have that. Whatever that is, me have it, yeah. Because in the winter time, I'm as glum as ever, and I'm not motivated to do anything but make the sun come out. Oh Lord Jesus. It's a different energy. So yeah, so you've been sidetracking back to your coaching thing that you're doing.
So I run groups here as well. So I have a men's group that we where we get together and we explore things like our relationship with our children and our relationship with our spouses. But I don't just look at the external stuff that we don't have control of, really. I encourage the participants to look within themselves and how they affected their relationships and how they could have either made it better or how they did make it better. And in some cases, could you have done something different which would have made that particular relationship last longer? So we have that, and I also have a couples communication group where we get couples together. Even my wife joins in as well and facilitates with me, and we look at how we affect our relationship and how our relationship with our parents affect the relationships that we choose to engage in. So we're really looking at healing ourselves by looking inside rather than looking outside.
So what made you call your venture Manifest Coaching? Why Manifest?
Because I think in terms of taking it, your thoughts from taking your ideas into reality, you're manifesting your thoughts, you're manifesting your emotions and your feelings. And so it was as simple as that. It was just like, well, you if you want things to go left, then manifest your thought and look at how the steps that you have to go through in order to go left, and don't take any of those steps for granted, because if you miss one of those steps, you might not make it.
And also I was listening to something today about people not focusing. Sometimes you focus, and the analogy that the man was giving was in terms of you've got a big massive garden and a bucket of water, and you've got all these seeds scattered all over the place, and you're trying to let this one bucket water every single plant, and it's not enough. He said just one plant, focus on it, make it, because you only can water. Right. You can't make it grow. You only can water, and you leave the
absolutely
to do the rest. Yes, but it's just about focusing on something and working on that thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, you have to. I've been married for this year is 17 years, come September, and a lot of people are like, "Wow, hats off to you! You've done great," and so on and so on. It's like, but understand, this is hard work, and it has to be in fact, right before me and my wife got married, we both said, you know what, this is it. There is no divorce, not near divorce. You know what I mean? When we say till death do us part, that's exactly how it is. Unless we're causing physical harm to each other, we have to work our way through it. Which for me then meant, you know what? And the funny thing is, here in Gambia, there's a lot of nice people to get involved with if you choose to, if you know what I mean. And not
mix up and blend.
And and that's both for men and women, right? And the reality is, because if you was to be here, there's a lot of these guys, they don't have much fat on them at all. His ab six pack is all over the place here. I ain't gonna lie. They make me like, boy, I need to get into the gym to compete with these young boys and things like me. But even the young ladies, they look at me and they're like, I'm like, hold on, I'm old enough to be your dad. And they're not really bothered.
Mm.
And here you can have 1, 2, 3 wives if you want to, right? But my point is, you know what? I get enough challenges with the one that I have. So
But before you went, not cutting you, hold that thought for a moment. Before you went to Gambia, did you discuss the having other partners? Is it something that you discussed before you went?
Yes. Always, we've been discussing this, and I've said even before we come up with the idea of coming to Canada, Gambia. We've had these kind of conversations about having a person. Mainly, my wife was saying if I wanted to, I could, and I'm like, I don't need nothing else. I'm good. Yeah, I'll work on what I have, because what I have is enough work on its own. Right. And for me as well, that if I put energy into being with somebody external, then if I put that same energy into the relationship I have, wouldn't it be so much better? So that's what I choose to do. It's not easy, you know. There's a lot of compromise, but then there's also a lot of standing up and learning about who I am. So
but that's what relationships is all about, isn't it? Not only just
absolutely
marital relationships, it's just any ship,
right?
Really. Friendship,
right.
picnic ship, mothership.
Absolutely. And the relationship with even the relationship with yourself, you know, that relationship with yourself, because there's never a time when you should have got to knowing absolutely everything about yourself. That's just, it's unrealistic to believe that that's going to happen. So there's always.
All right. So it sounds like you're staying where you are for now, because it sounds like if you two have a discussion, anything could happen. All right.
Yeah.
So in your ideal world, where would you like things to go if you stayed where you are? From a manifest coaching point of view?
I would like to travel around the continent of Africa, helping and supporting people in their relationships. That's what I would like to do. One of the places where I'm keen to go.
What do they think about? I suppose they come to you. You make them aware of what you do, and they come to you.
It's very difficult because of the culture here. At the moment, the culture is, if I have issues going on, I go to my imam, or I go to my pastor, or I go to another family member, one of the elders in the community, and so on. And they deal with the issue. They don't necessarily look at the history of the issue. So, for instance, when I'm engaging with clients, I'm thinking, all right, if you're a Black client, what intergenerational trauma has come to you? If I'm dealing with a white client, what intergenerational trauma has come to you? Because I don't think, in general, a lot of people don't contemplate these situations, right?
So you're more holistic from the point of view that you're going to the grassroots and working out how they got to where they are.
Yeah, because I think if someone has a greater understanding of themselves, they're going to be at peace with themselves much more. What I'm trying to support clients in doing is gain peace, balance, and stability in their life. When we can introduce that into their home, then we have a happier home.
Definitely.
Right. I remember, I'll never forget, years ago, a friend of mine, she got married to a gentleman, and I'll never forget, I walked through the front door, and I kid you not, I felt the love in that house. It is just like, it was just like an aura. And I thought, I want that. So now I'm married, I'm trying to create that. But it's hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah.
But I love it anyway.
But it's worth it in the end.
Absolutely. 100. Yeah. It's worth it in the middle.
Yeah.
It's worth it from the beginning. Me and my wife, we were friends for 4 years, 4.5 years before we actually got together. During those 4 years, we were expressing that we liked each other and so on, but we didn't actually get together. Right. So if nothing else, when we're experiencing challenges, we fall back on the fact that we actually like each other. Right. And we talk more than anything else that we do.
And that's what's most important in communication 100. I can't express that. I mean,
right.
I don't have a second to say this is what we do, but communication, and I know that as a fact, is very, 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 very important.
Right. What happens with me, right? This is what I try to engage with clients. I would do more listening now, and I would encourage my clients to talk, because that's how they're gonna move from A to B and get what they want. If I'm the one who's doing all the talking, I might move, but they're not moving. Right.
And it's also probably the only time they actually get a chance to express themselves really how they want to express themselves, because you're there as sort of referee.
Right.
You know, I'm not talking about fighting, but you know what I mean, like the person to balance.
And because I'm very laid back, clients seem to like it. I don't know, because a lot of people say if I was any more laid back, I'd be upside down. But I don't see the need for me to be all hyper and everything. I'm a big guy, so if I was hyper, maybe I'd be seen more intimidating. So I don't want to present that to anyone. I just want to support people, and and this is probably unrealistic, I want everybody to be happy in a positive way.
It's not unrealistic. It's an ideal that we can hope for, and you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know. If everybody put their little 10-cent sprinkle into making that a reality, who knows?
Oh gosh, I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, but you're really doing it in a hard market. So by the time you might move, you'll probably be absolutely fantastic at it, because what have you done? Induction by fire,
Yeah. But I'm doing it online as well, so people can hit me up. I've done it online for another organization called Lutherwood in Canada. So I know I'm ready. I know I can do it, and I know I can do it well. Apparently, this is what I've been told. So this is probably one of the reasons why I want to do it, because I do love it, and it's not a hat that I take off and put on. This is just how I am for anyone, which is probably why we've been conversing like this for so long.
Yeah. No, man.
Yeah.
And that's the best. That's the lovely thing about it, when what you're doing as an income is something that you actually love. So it doesn't even come in like nothing. Like
it's not work.
Yeah.
It's not work.
Yeah. And then the fact that when you see how your service is changing people's lives and making their lives more positive, I'm sure it's very my brain fog. Help me with the words.
Rewarding.
There you go. That's the one.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
I've already said I won't be retiring from this profession. I'll do it to the grave.
That's right. So is there anything else that you think we've left out? Because we're running out of time here. Gonna have to round it all up. Do you think you would like to include in your sharing of you and the Manifest coach?
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Yeah.
Should we just go on Manifest Coaching?
Yeah, manifestcoaching.life. I find that I have to put in HTTP and then colon
forward
then
slash
yeah, exactly.
www.manifestcoaching.com. Yes?
Yeah, .life.
I'll
.life.
And if anyone wants to even just have a free non-committal 15-minute chat to see if there's any synergy between us, feel free, contact me, and we go from there.
All righty. All righty.
Excellent.
So Sister Sugar, is there anything else you want to say? Anything?
No, he's calmly managed to cover it all.
Oh,
He even did his own little trailer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all good. I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a wrap.
you.
Gary, it was really lovely having you, and thank you for taking up the invitation
Yes.
to join us.
And thank you for creating sisters. Was it support sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for creating that. Our sisters need to be receiving all the support after all the hard work you guys keep putting in
Trust
every
me.
day, all day. You know what I mean? So
100.
blessings to all of you and much respect.
100. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a wrap.
All right. Thank you. Yeah,
Bye.
take
Speak
care.
to
Bye.
Gary.
Bye.
Yes, absolutely. Bye.
Bye.